having a festive table that's also functional is Amy with Art of the Table. Thanks so much for stopping by and giving us an idea of how we can make this happen. Because if you have a small table, you get a little overwhelmed with everything you think you have to put on it.
True. There are a lot of things in a traditional place setting that you can put on. I kind of set a traditional place setting there today with all the plates and all the bowls and all the silverware.
Right, so you've got soup and salad and then another plate and then a nice little platter for on top of the plate, and then you've got a bread dish and all the different wines and so forth. So where do you start with sort of saying, okay, I'm going to make this simpler?
Sure. I think if you're going to do a little more simple, of course you need a water glass and probably need a wine glass of some sort, but I think just have one. There's a nice multi-purpose option right there, and so I just kind of say, oh, I might try this one, then I might try back and forth. Also, I think that you don't probably need, you could do a charger plate like this, but you don't have to, so you could actually just take that away, and you've got a small option for a table. Also, a lot of the things don't need a bread and butter plate as well. So you've got a bread and butter plate that's taking up room on your table. So we kind of figured that you could just throw this on your table. It's a smaller option. You probably don't need all the dessert things on the table at the very moment. So instead of having your 13 things on the table, you can have just 5 or 6 or 7.
Right.
So,
and if you really wanted to, you could probably just eat your salad with one fork and so forth, and do it that.
Yeah.
I love what you did with the candlesticks, because most of the time you think to yourself, oh, I have to put food on the table, but I also want to have this pretty table. I like the fact that you chose to use color to make it festive with your tablecloth and with another a placemat instead of having to put all of the little gourds and all of the decorations. You did it festive with your napkins.
Yep, a little napkin, and then this is height, but so it builds a little of that into your table. I put these flowers right on there, just attach them to it. You can do it with hot glue or a little hidden piece of tape.
And it still shows a little bit of festivity for your table, but yet not taking up a whole lot of space.
Sure, you don't have that centerpiece going on.
Right, and so you say when you think about not just how you're going to decorate your table, but how you're going to present your food, maybe you think about going vertical, because there's always more space up here than there is down here sometimes.
Go wide. I was thinking of a couple of things as this was my ultimate little thought I had the other day, which was do your Jell-O mold up instead of down and wide. So could you just do some layers of Jell-O in here and have people dig in? You might have to have a long spoon, but you could get away with that.
Or you could maybe even layer like mashed potatoes, gravy, and stuffing.
Great idea. I love it. We're getting good. I was thinking about that with a bowl like this, where you could have, instead of having one stuffing bowl and one gravy bowl, you could separate it in the middle. You could have stuffing on one side, potatoes on the other.
Right.
And maybe even gravy in the middle. That's a great idea too.
Put like a little bowl for gravy in the center.
We can make this happen. We're making Thanksgiving.
And you can think small with candles too. You can still be festive, but you can have something a little bit tiny that really helps to pull it all together. But I love some of these ideas. We just have to think outside of the box for containers that you maybe wouldn't normally use for food that you can put things in. Right?
Absolutely. Yep. And so much to do. So many options.
So many options. And color. Using color in your tablecloths and your place setting and your napkins can really make it a lot more festive.
100%.
All right. Thanks so much, Amy. Of course, if you would like tips on how to make your Thanksgiving festive, all you have to do is visit 13onyourside.com. While many people are focused on food, we're focusing on the fun that comes with Thanksgiving. I love this one. Isn't this fun, right? Kids are going to play with that for hours. Craft expert Adina Anderson is here to show us how to make a couple of party games.
Yeah, so that's a really fun and easy one. And the kids will have fun. You can make a couple and they could do races. And so all it is construction paper, a straw. I used wire, but you could use yarn, twine, whatever you have around the house.
Whatever's going to slide the best, right? You can experiment to see which one's faster.
Yeah, that's true, right? I'm thinking the wire might be faster. And all it is glue dots. And
Which you love. You're a big fan of the glue dots.
Yes, because you don't burn yourself.
Right.
They're easy to use.
They travel well.
They do travel well.
If you're going to pack stuff up and take them to someone else's house.
Exactly. And then all you do is just take the glue dot, stick it on the feather. And I cut this out. I think I went online and found a template.
Okay.
Or I may have free draw. Who knows with me. But you just glue dot your little feathers on. And then you're just going to glue dot your straw to this side. And then the balloon to here. And then stick it on the wire and have Hours and hours of fun.
Oh my gosh, it is. I love it.
I gotta tell you, I love this sweater.
Yeah, I do too.
And
the fun down here.
The ugly sweaters for Christmas sweaters from Myers. They're so cute. So everybody in the family is gonna want to wear this. They're gonna want to make one. It's actually a fun thing you could do with everybody at your.
So it's like the ugly Thanksgiving T-shirt.
Exactly. Okay. So make one for the family. Have the whole family do it at the party because it's very simple. And I cut out the feathers from felt. This is an under $3 craft that everybody could make.
Glue dots involved?
Well, I actually used hot glue, but we're just going to put it together real quick to show. Because it's felt. It'll hold just good enough for this. But you do want to hot glue it. And I found the orange T-shirt because you cannot find a brown shirt anywhere. And so I just cut out the turkey body. Here's the eyes. Put the little googlies. And then you got to have the gobbler, right? Yep. And look, if everybody in the family has one of these on, how cute is that? Do a family picture, fun and easy. And then maybe you need to do some decor because the family just called and said they're coming, right? So I had some styrofoam around the house, but if you don't, head over to the craft store. They're really easy and inexpensive. And all these are on sale because everybody's into Christmas now, so these are really inexpensive. And just stick them in, that's all you gotta do. And I know you've been smelling these scent sickles. They smell so good. Yeah. I love it. It's like the smell of fall. And they come with these little hooks. And so you could hang them on an arrangement that you do, whether it's a wreath here or maybe you just do a little arrangement for the table and everybody could have their own place setting. That's just a can. You've got your cranberry sauce out, use the can, wash it. Adults wash these because they do get sharp, so you don't want the kiddos to cut their fingers. And then you just put the scent sickle right in there on your arrangement. And all I did for this is I hot glued some ribbon around. And this is old Christmas ribbon that I had around, or you could go get some. Just hot glue this around, add another piece in the middle, like so, and it's so pretty. You could write their name on it with a paint marker.
I love it.
I know, it's so simple, right?
Yeah. I mean, you think about all the things that you throw. I like the turkey.
So more cans. I'm all about the cans this year. Save those cans because you don't have to spend a fortune. I painted it with a Deco Art paint. I just painted it brown, and then I tipped it over, and I put googly eyes, and I used more construction paper, and you can use the glue dots for that, wherever our little glue dots went. Build your turkey there. And this is what's fun for the kids is they can do all these while you're baking or cooking the turkey, and then they have games to play, you have decor for your home, so everything's good to go.
Oh my gosh, this is fun.
While you do that, I'm going to finish this arrangement here so they can see how easy this is.
I mean, and it doesn't take much to really like oomph up your
It really doesn't, no. And this is something, you know, when the in-laws are over and you want to keep them busy, give them some ribbon and cans.
You know, send them to another room and say, you know what, I really
create this for me.
Done. Can you do this for me?
Yes, exactly.
Because I mean, look at it. I mean, it really does go together really fast. I love these glue dots. I really do.
I do too. Where's my here we go. So here's my arrangement. I got my scent sickle on there.
You always come with such great ideas,
Thank
Adina.
you.
I absolutely love it. Of course, if you want more ideas, we have a link to Adina's website, 13onyourside.com.
I'm here with Grace DeRocha, dietitian, Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Grace.
Hi.
We are at the YMCA in their testing kitchen.
Yes, we are.
And whoo, like that. Thanksgiving right around the corner. I am thankful for you.
I am thankful for you.
But the thing with Thanksgiving is we tend to overdo it.
Yes.
Right? And it's that tryptophan, which always gets us. Always.
Turkey, yes, for sure.
But we're making a healthier side dish today, right?
Yeah, the average American actually has about 4,500 calories on Thanksgiving Day. I don't know, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's like
How
2 to 3 days worth.
do we stop that?
So a few things.
Okay.
We make healthier dishes like these. We're gonna start cooking, and as we talk, I'll kind of tell you.
Okay.
This is a wild rice and quinoa stuffing.
Nice.
And you're gonna pass me the celery, carrots, and onions.
Celery, carrots.
Yep.
Oh, they're already in there. Okay,
Yep,
right.
they're in here. We're gonna saute them up in here. Boom. And while you do that, I'm gonna make you cut an apple
Oh, I'm
too.
cutting an apple.
Because I'm gonna make you do some of this
So
first.
just kind of slice the apple.
Yes. Diced kind of like this.
Oh,
I believe in you.
All right, let me get going here.
Look at him.
I'm trying here.
The beauty of these dishes is that they are healthier. They have a lot of good nutrition. They're filling, there's fiber. And this fun recipe, which you will have on your website,
Yes,
and
we will.
also have it on ours, is a mashed potato, but I'm nice. I put potatoes in it, but I also put some cauliflowers.
Oh.
And I put some beans.
Really?
Yeah, so we're adding some good fiber, some good nutrition.
Okay, I tried to do this.
You did good.
No, does this go in here?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna come, well, here, switch. Come, stir this up for me a little bit.
I'm stirring.
So if we fast forward about 15 to 20 minutes for
Okay.
the onions to get fragrant and all of that good yumminess to get soft and cooked down a bit. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to
job.
pretend that happened. Woo,
Yeah,
woo,
and
woo,
now I'm
woo,
gonna hand
woo.
you your apples, not the core.
Apple failed.
So it's fun because this savory dish, adding these elements of apples
Mm-hmm.
and then a bunch of dried fruit.
Oh, what's
so
in
I
here?
have some apricots in here, some cherries, some cranberries.
Nice.
We're gonna
Those all
dump
go in here? Okay.
Stir that bad boy up.
It's very colorful.
Yeah, it's super colorful, and it also is adding lots of fiber, and fiber makes you full faster.
Oh, that's good.
So hopefully we don't overeat.
Or go back for seconds and
Yeah.
thirds.
So we would mix that up a little bit, and then instead of using bread for stuffing, we have some quinoa and some wild rice.
Oh,
All right, are you
nice.
ready? This is gonna be a really full pan.
Okay.
But we would stir this in here.
Wow.
Yeah. And then your end result is this beautiful dish. So this is literally Thanksgiving. This is some sage, some thyme, and rosemary, and that is what's gonna make it really feel.
Sage, rosemary, and thyme. And we're back. Oh, what about this? What's that?
That's bacon. So if you are vegan, you could leave it like this.
Okay.
You could use a vegetable broth and not a little chicken broth
Okay.
that we put in there. But if you want a little bam, you can bam your little, you can bam the bacon just like that.
All right, this is the finished product.
Yeah.
Wait, do
It's
we have a
beautiful.
fork? Do we
It's
have a
yummy.
fork?
We need
We need a fork.
we need a fork.
We need a fork.
Man down.
Man down. I love how, pay no attention to the gal behind the curtain. I gotta try this real quick.
Get in there.
We're running out of time. Hang on. I want to try this. Oh, look, there's a piece of bacon. How'd that get in there?
I'm gonna eat apple.
This is awesome. I cannot believe this is healthy and good for you, full of fiber.
Oh goodness. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Happy Thanksgiving recipe is on 13onyourside.com. Be thankful.
All right, well, as you're about to see in just a second, the table is set for Thanksgiving, and even though it's a time to give thanks, it can also be a time, unfortunately, as we all know, when your relatives can bring up some touchy subjects.
That's right, from politics to relationship status, just how do you navigate those uncomfortable, sometimes usually awkward conversations? So we have an expert here with us this morning to give some advice. Alicia is a licensed clinical social worker with Brains Potential here in GR. So let's start with this. What are some topics and questions that should stay off limits?
Great question, and I love this topic, by the way. Generally speaking, you don't really want to bring up anything that could be potentially controversial, and so you kind of alluded to it already. Religion and politics, relationship status, those sorts of things really just be off the table. In addition to that, if you kind of are aware of any difficulties a family member has had over the year, probably not the best time to bring it up, whether that was a loss of a job, you know, again, issues with a relationship, probably should stay off limits for Thanksgiving.
So I guess then the question is, what happens when they ignore that and talk about it anyway?
Because that happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. That happens all the time in so many different, how do you navigate that? How do you deal with that?
Definitely, and there's not a one size fits all because we all know that every family has different dynamics and are, you know, complex. So you kind of have to gauge it on what you feel comfortable with, along with just what you know about your family. But generally speaking, I'd say there's three kind of ways to do that. One is just being really honest about, this isn't something I feel comfortable talking about. Can we talk about something else? The second one would be just kind of maybe being a little vague in your answers and just, you know, if you don't feel comfortable sharing details, you certainly don't have to do that. And the third one, great one, is just redirecting and kind of switching the topic to something else.
That is what I do. I'm like, oh, wow, I love some more sweet potatoes right here. Yeah, that's exactly, that's a good one.
We've got about a minute left, and we want to actually see some examples of that, right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to do a little bit of role play, and I got my glasses here from Aaron.
All right, I'm going to step out of the way for this
Yeah.
because I'm going to let you guys do this role play.
So we've all got that like grandparent who asks questions that are probably not the best questions. So
Yes.
you said, hey baby, so when you and that nice boy gonna settle down and give me some grandbabies?
Oh, you know, I don't really know yet. We'll just have to wait and see.
You gonna wait and see?
Yeah.
When you gonna come to the church? We miss you down at the church,
yeah.
baby.
Well, you know, I actually meant to ask you, did you make that sweet potato pie?
Oh, I sure did.
Tell me about it. What's the recipe?
Well, I can't tell you too much about it. It's just a family recipe.
Oh, okay.
So that's how you kind of wrap those things up.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
See? Hey, Kristen, come back in.
Oscar nomination right there for that, Jim
That
Starks.
was great.
That was something.
All year, the NFPA has been warning about the dangers of cooking fires, and those warnings take on added importance right now with so many people staying home for the Thanksgiving holiday. Now, cooking on Thanksgiving accounts for 77% of residential fires, and cooking on the holiday triples the risk of a fire compared to that of just a regular day. Statistics show 2/3 of those fires start when food or cooking materials ignite, which is why you are encouraged to never leave food cooking unattended, even though most of us are guilty of doing that at some point. As rules go, there is one in particular you will want to keep in mind this Thanksgiving.
Don't panic when you're cooking and you have a cooking fire. That really can lead to some bad choices. But if you're in the practice of good cooking operations and doing it safely, you shouldn't have any issue. And we want you to have a very safe holiday too.
So let's talk about those safe cooking habits. Check out your screen right now for some tips and friendly reminders. Help prevent fires by making sure your oven and stovetop are clean and free of grease or dust. Never throw water or use a fire extinguisher on a grease fire. Keep things that can catch fire like oven mitts, wooden utensils, food wrappers, and paper towels away from direct contact with the cooking area. Also, always cook with a lid beside your pan. If you have a fire, slide that lid over the pan and turn off the burner and leave it for a while. For an oven fire, turn off the heat and keep the door closed. If you are deep frying a turkey, set it up on a stable surface at least 10 feet away from your home. Do not overfill the fryer and make sure the turkey is thawed properly. And again, always, always have someone on cooking duty to keep an eye on things. And also, one of the most important things you can do always is to make sure you have working smoke alarms in your home. Also, have a happy Thanksgiving. Back to you.
We all know the day after Thanksgiving is huge for shoppers. It's also a big day for the plumbing industry.
You may not have known this, but the day is known as Brown Friday among plumbers. We're going to be busy fixing problems that really could have just been avoided.
13 on your side, Sarah Makuta is on your side tonight, showing you how to avoid those problems.
After you gobble down the big meal, you could be shelling out some big plumbing bucks if you're not careful.
It would be emergency rates, which are usually double normal rates.
Dubbed Brown Friday, Service Manager Taylor Gilbert says the day after Thanksgiving, they expect to get some calls.
Yep, we always make sure we have at least one guy on call with a backup guy on call. When you have a clogged drain, it's not something you can wait on.
Okay, I know what you're thinking, but the real issues happen at the kitchen sink.
I said 90% chance it's going to be your kitchen, especially after cooking a bunch of food, greasy food, and kitchens are the worst.
So it's what we put down the drain that causes problems. So here are some tips to keep your kitchen safe from icky clogs. 1, don't put grease or bones down the garbage disposal. This is going to create backup. It's a common misconception that you can put anything down the garbage disposal, and that is not true. Another tip, wait for grease to cool down, scrape it off the pan, and throw it in the garbage. When it comes to grease, cool it, can it, and trash it. Throw away solid waste in the garbage. Again, never put it down the sink drain, and toss anything else in the trash that you're unsure if the garbage disposal can handle, because it probably can't. Now, if a problem does occur, trying to fix it by yourself could just mean more problems down the road. But again, you can expect to pay emergency rates if you need to call in a professional. But plumbers do plan ahead for this holiday and anticipate getting those Friday calls. I'm Sarah Makuta, 13 on your side.